Welcome back to Harmonize Your Life Conversations on Self-Care for Women of Color podcast with your host, Dr. Toni G. Alvarado. I am so glad to have you with us again this week. We are excited. We have another intriguing, empowering podcast conversation that we're about to have on today. We are in the month of January 2022 to be exact. And today we are going to be talking about fitness is a family affair. All right. I want you to know what we're going to be talking about today because many people in our in January, it's New Year. A lot of people are always talking about, hey, I need to get fit for this new year. I need to find out what I can do to be healthier this year. And people coming to the new year making all kind of New Year's resolutions, and then by March, April, May, sometimes sooner than that, it's gone, and and everybody has gotten off the wagon. And so today, I believe that our guest on today is going to help us stay fit throughout the year and show us how to include our family in our fitness. And so in just a moment, we're going to bring our guest into the studio, and we will be right back with our intriguing conversation right after this. All right, I'm excited to have a soror in the podcast studio with me today. Actually, this is my second soror that I've had this month, and actually, I've had quite a few of my sorors on the podcast since we started in March of 2022. I guess we just got it going on like that, right, soror?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, soror.
All right, we are part of the first and the finest Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And
That
I
is
am so
correct.
glad. That's right. And so I am so certainly glad to have as a dialogue partner Jacqueline or Jackie Madison of Glamour Girl Fitness. All right. Jackie is a national exercise and sports trainer association certified lifestyle and weight management specialist, and has worked in the medical industry for over 20 years. She is the practice administrator for Southern Plastic Surgery and Laser Lights Cosmetic Laser Center. It is in the medical industry that she realized her passion for helping people achieve their own personal health and fitness for lasting lifestyle changes. Through her business and now nonprofit organization, Glamour Girl Fitness, Jackie closely works with patients and clients to help them achieve their weight loss and management goals by identifying obstacles, managing time and stress, and providing healthy eating techniques. She requires accountability, but will offer strong support and motivation to help her clients achieve success. The focus of Glamour Girl Fitness has expanded from just the individual mom to the mom and child or children. The birthing of the Glamour Girl Fitness Mommy and Me motivational program, which helps to motivate, inspire, and keep moms accountable. Promoting her message of family fun and fellowship through fitness, a South Carolina native, Jackie came to Atlanta, where she attended HBCU Clark Atlanta University and earned her bachelor's degree in business education and office administration. As an active member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Jackie spends most of her time with her family and serving her community by promoting unity and friendship. Jackie's passion for the health and medical field and enriching the lives of others keeps her motivated, and she finds enjoyment in in furthering education for herself and the industry in which she is inspired to work within, promoting lifestyle enrichment programs. A member of Mocha Moms and Healthy DeKalb, Jackie is married married to the two children. She is married with two children, a 10-year-old girl, 17-year-old teenage boy, and the family is known as Team Madison Fitness Family. She obtained the title Mrs. Georgia Earth 2019 and competed in the Mrs. Georgia Earth pageant, where she won the Fitness and Public Speaking Award. Welcome to the Harmonize Your Life podcast, Jackie.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toni. It is an indeed pleasure to be here with you in this new year. So I'm so excited to talk about our topic today. Fitness, of course, is my passion.
Yes, and as you can see and tell, it is mine as well. And you know, the Bible says, "Deep call it under deep." And something in me leaped when I met you. We met at a soror's event not too long ago, welcoming a new soror into our sisterhood. And she was like, "You two have to meet. You two have to talk." And I was like, "Well, let's do it. Let's talk on my podcast."
Yes, and I am so inspired. I love the shirt, the sweaty, the hoodie, I guess.
Thank you. This is a part of my fitness apparel line. I launched my fitness apparel line last year. And so we have t-shirts, dry fit t-shirts for women to work out. We have leggings, and we just recently launched our sweatshirt line. And so we have sweatshirts that say hashtag fitness motivation, hashtag self-care, hashtag harmony, all those things that I am about. And so yeah, so and you can, and those are available on my website at drtonialvarado.com.
I love it. It caught my eye immediately. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Fitness motivation. Yes, yes.
Fitness motivation. We also have this fitness motivation. We have it in our dry fit shirt, and we also have it in the bling t-shirt. I have some black shirts with the bling, self-care, harmony.
Okay. That's the one I'm gonna get. You know, I'm all about the bling, so
all right then. All right. That's right, because you are Glamour Girl Fitness.
That's right. That's right. It's the name. That's right. We're all about the bling.
All right. So we have a couple of bling shirts. You know, you can't have t-shirts for us without bling in it.
That's right.
Actually, I started with the bling, and then I moved to the other dry fit shirts for working out, and then also the sweatshirts because I walk around Stone Mountain often, and I hike, and I like outdoor stuff. So I said, well, you know what? Sometimes people use excuses like it's too cold to go outside to walk or run or whatever. And so I said, well, let me get some sweatshirts in my line so we won't have any excuses for working out and being fit.
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. All right. So, Jackie, I am so intrigued by the work that you're doing. Reading your bio, hearing about all the great things that you are doing in this fitness space, learning I mean, wow. I mean, as I was reading your bio just now, I was like, oh my, this is some good stuff here. This is you're a bad chick, as they say.
Well, thank you so much. One of the words you used earlier that I picked up on, we were talking about how people make excuses, for exercise and that it's too cold or whatever. So one of my mottos, of course, is no excuses. This is what we promote with Glamour Girl Fitness and our nonprofit organization. No excuses. That is one of those. That's our big word. That is our big family word. No excuses.
And that is so important because, and I use that hashtag sometimes when I'm working out, no excuses, because it's so easy to make excuses, right? It's cold outside. I'm tired, or I don't have equipment. And I tell people walking is free. Right?
Exactly.
You don't have to have a treadmill. You don't have to have a bike. Just get outside and you just never know what it would do for you. Or, people just, and one of the biggest excuses I think people make is that I just don't have time. And I'm like, how is it that you don't have time? We have 24 hours in a day. You mean you don't have, I mean, what is it? I saw once, what is it that 1 hour of exercise is only what percent of our day? Less than a 4% of our day.
Yeah, and one of the things, Dr. Toni, when you talk about it, I always tell people when they tell me they don't have the time. Um, I'm one of those ones that say we make time for the things that we want to do, right?
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter what you want to do, you find the time to do it. And so I actually have incorporated with Glamour Girl Fitness in our organization our Give Me 10. That's our Give Me 10. We have our Give Me 10 model. So I'm like, if you just give me
Okay.
10 minutes, I know you can find 10 minutes. And if you just start moving there, then you'll find that, you know what? I got another 10 minutes in me. I can go again. And here's one of the other things for people that say they don't have time. You can start out with 10 minutes in the morning. You can do 10 minutes in the afternoon, midday, whatever it will be. And now you've gotten 30 minutes. You don't have to do it all at one time. And I think a lot
Right.
of times people think in terms of exercise that you have to do an hour and you have to do it all at one time. And you don't
Okay.
have to do an hour. If you're
And you're
getting a
right.
good cardio workout in, building up your cardio, getting that heart rate up, you can do that quickly in just 10 minutes. And I promise you, if you start with 10 minutes, you can give us 10 more of that easily.
And you're gonna
Easily.
want 10 more after a while because your body, I was telling, I did in our first episode this month of the podcast, I was actually answering questions. And one of the questions I get often is, how are you so consistent? And I told them,
Mm-hmm.
well, consistency is built over time, right?
Right.
But I told them I'm at the point now where my body craves it. So
Absolutely.
I can't go more than 2 or 3 days without working out because it's so much a part of who I am. My body actually requires it, and it really craves the exercise. And I feel so much better once I've done it. And I agree with you. Sometimes what we do is we think if we can't do everything, then we do nothing. And we can't do
Mm-hmm.
it all, we do nothing. And I tell people all the time, don't discount the small things,
Right.
don't, because Rome wasn't built in a day. you
Right.
know it's those small nuggets that build up to the big thing. And so, right, if you just give it, I like that. That's a give me 10 model.
Give me 10. We have our little sign and it says, give me 10. Give me 10. And while we're talking about that, I want to kind of jump in and mention something else in terms of when we don't have time for exercise. One of the things that I always like to do with my Give Me 10 is what I like to call my commercial workouts or my
Okay.
program workouts. So sometimes when I don't feel like exercise and we're trying to motivate, because you got your hashtag fitness motivation, right? We're going to motivate you. Let me tell you this, especially in this new year, and you're trying to find out how I'm going to incorporate exercise because I don't have the time. I bet you every one of us that are watching either watches the 30-minute news or we
Yeah.
have our favorite program that we're not going to miss. So instead of sitting down and watching that program, how about get up and jog in place? You'll be surprised at how fast that will go. I used to have my old shows. I'm gonna tell my age now. Watch like I Dream of Jeannie or
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was when
girl, we
Jeannie went,
came up the
those
same
30-minute shows. Girl, I would literally like jog in place, right? While I'm watching
way.
these shows. And then I can add like a pop of like sort of like hit, I'll jump up, pop up. So I'm running in
Yeah, yeah.
place, I'll touch the ground, pop up, something like that to kind of just add to it. And before you know it, you've gotten in a good 30-minute workout in that some of y'all watch Power, or I don't even think
Yeah,
Scandal
yeah,
comes
yeah.
on anymore. One of the shows on OWN or Tyler Perry's program. Whatever it is you're watching, if you get moving, even if it's not for the entire program, commercials are about what? I've been watching these movies on over the holiday time frame, the break. They can be almost
Yeah.
5 minutes long.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
can. And you can do it. You can
Yeah.
get a lot of work. You can get some real cardio in 5 minutes. Those hit at those high intensity, short moments. Listen, what one of in coaching, we call that habit stacking. And
Yes.
so, so I know I'm gonna watch my show, but I'm gonna stack on top of that exercising. So now I'm here. It's the old way we would say it is killing two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? So I still get to watch
Absolutely.
the show, but I still work out. I have a fitness challenge. We're in the middle of that right now. My fitness challenge is going on from January 10th through the 31st. 21
Okay.
days. I usually do a whole month, but I like January. I'm like, nah, I need to ease into it. Let the folks ease into the year because we got to work off the COVID weight from last year and the
Mm-hmm.
Christmas weight and the Thanksgiving weight and the all that. And so I said, well, let's get into the year and then so our fitness challenge this time is a 21 day, January 10th
Yeah,
through the
absolutely.
31st. So those that are listening to this, I hope they're hearing this. Those that are in my fitness challenge and those that are not join the fitness challenge, listen to what Jackie is saying. Just 10 minutes. Like I may tell the women in the fitness challenge, Jackie, to do 20 push-ups and I would tell them, you don't have to do them all at one time. Do 5 in the morning while you're at work. And
Right.
many of us
Right.
are working at home, right? So I tell them, get up in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of on your break and drop 5 squats.
That's it. That's it. So there you go. We've already created something that we know is feasible for you to do. So, like I said, our commercial workouts or our program workouts, you'd be like, you know what? You're right. I can actually do that. And I love to do that, especially when I come in and I don't feel like doing my traditional workout, that we do. When I
Yeah.
don't feel like doing a HIIT workout or doing my insanity workout. So I was like, oh, I don't feel like working out at all. But I'm sitting down. I'm like, you know what? Guess what? I'm gonna jog in place while I'm watching this program. And there it is. There's no excuses. I'm still going to get it in, even when I don't feel like it.
No excuses. I love that. So Jackie, we're going to be I want to talk a little bit more about because you started a movement and your family is involved.
Yes.
And that was when I was introduced to you by Paula Jackson, who's a member of my self-care network, our new soror. She said, oh, she's got this movement where she's involved her whole family. I know you started see in your bio, you started a mommy and me motivational thing and all of that. But you mentioned that your husband is involved, your son. And a lot of times as women, we won't work out if our spouse or our significant other is not involved. And then, of
Right.
course, we use our children. Our children also can be a hindrance or a pet. We allow that to be a hindrance to us working out, right? So,
It's
talk to us,
typically an excuse. The children are typically an excuse.
and it's you. Exactly. Right. So, you shared about how obesity in your on your website. I went to your website and you did an article. You were being featured in it, a Voyage Atlanta. And
Hmm.
something
Yeah.
you said that I pulled out from that article you shared about the obesity that runs in your family,
Yes.
and you've always wanted to break that cycle, which is one
Correct.
of your motivations for getting into fitness. Why is it important for us to know our family history
Yes.
and the cycles that need to be broken in our
Right.
families?
It is. And like you said, there's a stigma a lot of times, especially in the African American community. Our community is usually not focused on the health and the wellness part of it. A lot of times we make excuses in regards to the foods that are available to us and how we eat. But what I say is, Dr. Tony, is that we can have everything in moderation, right? The right way. One of the things we just did not do or we do not do as a community is we don't exercise, right? So the foods that we eat, a lot of times, it doesn't have to always be something that is not good for us. We can always have that in moderation. But what was missing in our family dynamic was the movement part, the exercise part, the fitness
Mhm,
part.
mhm.
And so, like I said, I grew up in a family where everyone in the family was overweight pretty much. They didn't always start out that way, but gradually over time, when they got married, they started eating with their spouse. So I said, I'm not going to be my uncle or my aunt or my mom or whatever. I said the
Yeah,
cycle was going to start with me. What I wanted to do is be the change that I wanted to see in my environment, right?
yeah,
So I wanted to model a behavior for my family members, for my friends, for my immediate family, for my children. I wanted to be able to leave a legacy. And how do we do that? We do that by modeling a behavior. Because when you model a behavior, you're hoping that that message guess what? It catches on. So
Mhm.
now my children see that mommy's being active. And I tried when I had my daughter, when we started the Mommy and Me program, I was like, okay, she's in my way, right? They're getting my way. And then I thought about it is if we set a message of, or if we model a behavior for fit kids, they will turn into what? Fit, healthy
Uh,
adults. So instead of
exactly.
trying to put her off to the side, I need to try to now include my children so that
Right.
they can
Right.
now grow up with this healthy, fit mentality.
Yeah. 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 Because healthy children become healthy adults, and healthy families make healthy communities.
Mhm.
And so I think that is so, so good. So you and your daughter started Glamour Girl Fitness,
That
right?
is
That's
correct. We started Glamour Girl Fitness. She
Mhm.
was about 4 years old. And like I said, I felt like she was getting in my way. You know, the little kids are running around and I'm in the
Okay.
gym and I'm working out and I'm trying to be healthy and fit. And then she saw me jumping up and down and she thought it was fun. And then a light bulb went off. I said, you know what? What I'm going to do is now I'm going to incorporate her and a lot of
Mm,
the women that I was coaching in terms of the lifestyle and the weight management would always make excuses about what? The children. They don't have time, the
mm.
family, to work out. Now, guess what? The message is changing. We are going to have a message of incorporating this in our community where it is going to be family, it is going to be fun, and it's going to be fitness. And what we said, these are our fun F words: family, fun, and fitness, which now turns also into fellowship.
Fellowship. Yeah, I love all of that. Family
And
fun,
so
fitness, and
it was just
fellowship.
something that my husband and I already had in common. So he's happens to be a personal trainer. So we had the fitness thing in common. It's like, okay, so what we're gonna do is do it as a family. We're not gonna keep this a secret to ourselves. We're gonna help our community. This is my way of giving back because I want to see my community fit and healthy. We see it in a lot of other communities. It's rarely seldom we see it in the African American community where we're doing it as a family unit.
Okay, and so now I'm gonna play the devil's advocate for a moment,
Yes.
and and that is, so you and your husband have that in common, right?
Yeah.
So somebody's listening to this podcast who they don't have that in common, right? So what
Right.
do you tell the girl or the guy or the person that's listening to this when their
Mhm.
spouse is not into fitness, or their
Right.
spouse is just adamant that they're not going to do it? Because
Exactly.
sometimes, like I said earlier, as women, we kind of acquiesce to what our spouse or our significant other wants to do. um,
Hmm.
we tend to, if they work out, then we work out. If they don't, we don't. And or we'll wait. We want them to work out with us. And then sometimes it becomes a point of contention. I'll just share with in my thing. When I started working out, my husband was like, okay, he was fine with me doing it. He supports me doing it, but that wasn't his thing, right?
Right.
And I used to try to force that between us. I used to be like, well, I want us to work out together. It's part of, we need to do that. We're married. We look, and he'd be like,
Hmm.
girl, please, you better go into the gym. And then he started getting into, he at one point he was into martial arts, and then he started getting into sports shooting.
Right.
So he's an avid, he goes to the range, and his sport is, being out there running and shooting and doing all that stuff, cowboy shooting, all that. Um, so I had to finally get to the place where I did it for me.
Correct.
And so what do you tell the woman or the person that's listening here? How did because you and your husband had it in common. So I
Right.
imagine it was pretty easy for y'all to come together with that.
But here's the thing though, even though we had it in common, we don't work out together.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He
Okay.
does his thing. And I guess for him being a personal trainer, and I was always someone, like you said, that did not need anyone to motivate me. We just met and happened to have that in common. So it was easy for us in terms of a family unit to make sure that we get it in, but we didn't necessarily work out together. Hence, I
Oh,
started the Mommy and Me program for my daughter and I. We work out together. My husband and my son, they work out together. And then we have our family bonding time when we will do it as a family unit. The girls go in and crash the boys' party when they're working out, lifting their weights in the gym. So I want to say this to you, Dr. Toni, what you mentioned. We make it fun. So now versus it saying, oh, let's go to the gym or we got to work out, we make it a fun time of fellowship. That's what I want families to know. When we supersede the word fitness with fun, then I think it's more enticing for a family to do it together because you can make it a game. And I think that's what we have to do because exercise
oh.
for most people, it ain't
It's
fun,
dra-
right?
it's drudgery. Nobody wants to do
Exactly.
it. It's work. I don't want to do that. It's not, I don't have fun doing it. And finding, because one of the things my husband and I did do,
Mm-hmm.
when I found what I enjoy, I like being in the gym. I like lifting weights. I like
Right.
running. I like hiking. I like walking. He'll do those things, but that's just not his thing. But what we found that we both enjoyed, we
Mm-hmm.
found that we both like to ride bikes. So what we did was he went and bought us a few years back, he went and bought us matching bikes.
Ah.
And now when we want to work out together, we
Mm-hmm.
ride our bikes together.
See?
So I'll do my thing, he does his thing, but when we come together, we ride our bikes. And that's the fun thing that we do together, but it's also fitness.
Absolutely. So that's what, like you said, you got to find what works. And as a lifestyle and weight management specialist, I tell people that say they don't have time, I said, listen, based on your lifestyle, you have to find out what works best for you. You mentioned you go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I don't ever go to the gym. I work out at home.
And
I
I
don't
do
use
too
a trainer.
now.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so some people have to get out of the house or, to be able to get into that environment. Some people actually have to have a trainer, somebody to motivate them or a partner. So I tell them, I said, no excuses. So when you say because of my kids, no, 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 we going to invite the kids in. We going to make it fun. We're going to have our family time. And I guarantee you now your children actually becomes an accountability partner for the adult like us that gets tired, for those of us that are going outside of the house and we don't feel like working out when we come in. And I tell my daughter, I said, no, mommy, but I want to work out today. I said, I don't want to work out. She's like, but I want to. And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to work out, then I guess I will too. So it all comes into by, getting the family involved. You now become family partners in keeping each
Okay.
other accountable for being healthy and fit. And like I said, we want to go back to that fun word because
Yeah.
this is our time of fellowship. All right. So what are we going to do? Let's just go outside. Let's play a game of dodgeball. My son does basketball. My daughter dances. And so with her dancing, remember I said we crashed the boys' party?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
go in there and now we're doing dance fitness. We're making it fun.
Fun.
No excuses. No
No
excuses.
excuses.
We make it fun.
Wow. And that's how you've incorporated it into your family life. That was one of the questions I was going to ask you. How do you all incorporate it into your overall family life? And it
Yes.
sounds like you and your daughter, then your son and your husband, and then
Yep.
you and your husband together, and then all four of you all together, and so and the whole fun and fellowship and incorporating it into your family life. Beyond the exercise, is there any other aspect of the whole fitness
Mhm.
piece that you all incorporate as a family? Does it extend beyond just the exercising? What about your meals or how you eat as a family? How does
Well, of
that?
course. Yeah. So, of course, the diet is very important. So, like you said, when we have our family meals, we talk about, the protein. So, of course, my husband is doing the shakes with my son and things like
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And so we do our smoothies. We love our family smoothies on the weekends, during
Okay,
the week. So we incorporate that diet. And now we're setting the example for our children on how to make that. So I'm like, okay, I'm making a smoothie for the family. So we know to use our vegetables or our fruit, things like that. So
okay,
absolutely, that is fun time, and we all enjoy it together.
okay, good, 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 good. So, um, how do you and your husband, uh, when it comes to working with other families and couples in this whole fitness thing, how have you all work that out? How do you motivate other families?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So of course, the Glamour Girl Fitness, our nonprofit organization, we have what we called our time. It is called our Time Out for Fitness event, and that's our
Okay.
event where we invite the community out, all families to come out and work out with us. So my husband, he's out there calling out the moves. My daughter and I are actually demonstrating the moves while he's being the coach, and then we get everybody involved. We have the dance fitness. So sometimes I invite dancers out, I invite cheerleaders. So this is our events. We do them at least 3 or 4 times a year where we invite the community out as a
Oh,
family for the whole entire family unit to come together. And then, of course, we have our individual personal training sessions and our lifestyle and weight management specialist sessions where my husband, I may have a client in terms of I do the motivating and inspiring as a lifestyle and weight management specialist. And I let people
mhm.
know I'm a coach. I motivate, I inspire. If you need a trainer, I can refer you to my husband who can then write you out a program. So we partner together. And so he may have clients that he's training that needs someone that they can talk to because I guarantee the trainer, they just there to tell you, you can do it. Do how many push-ups, whatever, right? But there's that us, especially the women, right? These are the clients that I'm getting for him. He ain't got all that time for excuses and it's so hard. And so here I am. I said, let me talk to him. So we partner together. So then now I can provide that motivation on
Yeah,
an intimate level
yeah.
when life gets hard and you feel like, oh, the weight's not coming off. So it's a good partnership for us. And that's why we're called Team Madison Fit Family. And then there's Janae, our children that can motivate and inspire the kids to be healthy and fit.
Oh wow. I love this work that you all are doing. I love it. So you all host events throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. We should be having our next one coming up for spring. So it's going to be my Spring into Fitness event. The whole entire family will be there. We invite the community out. It is free to the community, and we tell them no excuses. It's a family affair, and we want the entire family to come out
Coming.
active.
I'm
Yes.
coming. I am coming. I
Yes.
can get the bishop to come with me. I have young
Yes.
adult kids, so I'm gonna have to bribe them to come.
Yeah. I know. And this is what we tell them. It's free to the community. And we make it a community event because it's growing, it's spreading. Of course,
Okay.
with COVID, we used to have a big event
Yeah.
inside, but we've been able to find a venue
Nice
outside to be
park or something.
creative. And we invite entertainment to kind of keep the kids knowing that there's dance fitness, there's the cheerleaders. We're promoting all forms of movement, whatever way you can be active. We
Move
say,
your
Mom,
body.
if you have a child that dances, you can dance with them too. If you have a son that plays basketball, you can dribble the ball with them too. You can make it a game. We can make it fun. And so that's what we do at our community Time Out for Fitness event. So we're definitely going to remind you. We're definitely going to invite you because the more the merrier. We want the message to spread. And this is what we're doing all over. We happen to be in Atlanta, but our message last year was to get at least 100 families committing. And we're halfway there to being fit families together.
Wow. I can't wait. Send me that information. I'm gonna put it out there in my network. I'm gonna
Thank
put
you.
it out there on social media and partner with you in getting that word out. And
Yes.
if I am in town, I am coming. Even if I'm coming by
Yes.
myself, I'm coming. That is wonderful. I love it. I love it. We've seen a rise in childhood obesity and child and diabetes with our young people, teens and children. So to see, we were growing up, we kids went outside and physical fitness was a part of our education,
Let me
right?
tell you, I haven't, Dr.
And we
Tony,
had
let
to
me
dress
tell you.
out and we had to
Yes,
dress out. Like we
yeah,
didn't
let me
just go
tell
to the
you.
gym in our clothes. We had to put on I'm telling my age, I'll be 59 this year.
But let me
And
tell you something. When you said that, I had to interrupt you, Dr. Tony, because it was so funny, like you said. And I just turned 53, so we motivate and inspire, of course, women over 40. Right, that's our target market for
same
me
here.
on a personal level for Glamour Girl Fitness. I'm on IG, of course, at Get Fit Glamour Girl Style. So my target market is women over 40 and fabulous. But I
Okay.
interrupted you there when you said we used to go outside. I had a client, a lady that was in my office, and she said, older lady, she said, my grandkids came to visit me for the holidays. And she said, I told my boys, they were, I think she said between 10 and 11. I told them to go outside and play. they're from up north because of course we're in Atlanta, we're southern. And she said they looked at her and said, Grandma, what you mean go outside and play? She said they didn't know what she meant when she said go outside and play. And she said, so Jackie, I looked and told them to put their devices down. She said the boys, they were outside. And she said they was just like staring in the air. And she said, oh my God. I said, my goodness, come back in here. She said I had to get them in the house quick before there's a phone call that says we got two young men outside scoping the area, staring. She said they looked crazy. They had no idea what to do when they got outside. Profound,
Now,
right?
you know, that is funny on one end, but it's sad.
Exactly.
It's sad. And you're right, because when we were growing up, we had to stay outside till the street lights came on. My mom, you know the saying, don't be running in and out. If you came in, you had to stay in. And we didn't want to stay in, so we stayed out.
Exactly.
So we stayed outside.
And it was very sad. Like you said, it was comical at first. And then I said, you're right. I said, I couldn't even, and I knew exactly what she was talking about because they were so used to being on the devices, the whatever. She said, go outside. What is that?
They don't know what that's like. I mean, we had to dress out for gym, for PE, and all of that. And so last year, one of the things I did, I need to invite you to join the 40 plus Double Dutch Club with me. But I joined the 40 plus Double Dutch Club, and I love it. I call it play therapy. And I joined, and I go and jump with a group of ladies. I haven't been able to go over the last few months because I just all of a sudden at the end of the year, my calendar got really crazy, and they jump on Sundays, and I'm a pastor, so when I joined, it was last year. It was actually in 2020 when I joined, and we were doing church a little differently in 2020 because of the pandemic. So I had the time on Sundays to go. But since we went back to in-person worship we had started letting opening up the church a little bit more. And so we went back to 2 services on Sunday. And so it's been a little difficult for me to get there on Sunday afternoon because of my work on Sundays. But when I go, I love it. In it's outdoors, and it reminds me, because I'm from Chicago. So we jump rope.
Right.
You know, we do a double dutch. And you know, and I got some friends that say, I ain't never learned how to jump double dutch. And I'm going, wow. I mean, because that's what we did. We played hopscotch, we did double dutch, we played 4 corners with the ball.
Fun. Wasn't it fun?
And you know what? And as we get older, we forget to have fun.
Yeah.
We forget to have fun. And I call it play therapy. We get rigid when we get older.
Right. And that's why it was so important for me, for us to have our fun F words for the family. And that's what I told my daughter. That's our message. I said, what is our fun F words? It's family, fun, fitness. And we add the word fellowship, because that's the time that we get to spend together, and we're doing it by being healthy. And so that's the message we're spreading to the family for our fitness affair, our family affair. We want healthy adults. The message is so important because, like you said, we started on this topic for child obesity. It is so important for us to raise healthy, fit kids. So we start that message with them young. I guarantee you, because I see it with my daughter now, from the age of 4, she's 10, that now when she doesn't work out, I think I've created a monster. She's like, oh, mommy, we have that other F word too. And we don't like to shame anybody. It's our bad F word, the FAT. I'll say it like that. And she's like, mommy, I'm getting FAT. And I said, well, baby, when you drink a milkshake, your stomach is going to swell. It's going to poke out. But you can have it in moderation. But she's aware of these things, that too many of those things can lead in her turning into the bad F word for us. But we make sure that we make it fun for them so that it is not something that feels like it's taxing and I don't want to do.
Wow, Jackie, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and having this conversation with me. I love what you're doing. I love the work that you're doing. I love this space that we're both working in. And what's interesting is I just started because of my own personal love for fitness, I didn't realize how many people I would motivate by just doing
Mhm.
what I do. And
Right.
like when you said modeling behavior, I get no idea the number of people who are following me when because I post my workouts on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I post on TikTok, and I have people that are like, oh my God, I look for your videos every morning. I work out Monday through Friday and I post my workouts. And I don't do a video
Right.
every time, but I post every day. But I
Okay.
sometimes I drop a video and
Right.
people are like, oh my God, your videos or whatever. And I was just doing it from just for me. And then I
Correct.
realized it was really part of the ministry that God had given me to help people be whole, spirit, soul, and body. My principal work is a pastor, but
Yes.
um, but God wants us whole, spirit, soul, and body. And that's
Mm.
my message. That's my theology around self-care, fitness, health, and wellness. And so I appreciate every time I can run into a sister like you, especially a soror like you, who um who is who's all about that life, that family life, that fitness life, that fun and fellowship. I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that.
Yes. Yes.
For those of you that are watching our podcast or listening, we have in the studio with us today Jackie Madison of Glamour Girl Fitness. Jackie Madison of Glamour Girl Fitness. And you her website, you can find Jackie at glamourgirlfitness.com or glamourgirlfitness.org. I imagine the .org is your nonprofit.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So glamourgirlfitness.com or .org. Find Jackie there in either one of those spaces and connect with her. And then on Facebook, she has a Facebook group, Glamour Girl Style Fitness, and IG, Get Fit Glamour Girl Style. Go there to all of those aspects of those places on social media, her website, and follow her. Connect, get your family involved, get your children involved,
Yeah.
your spouse, your significant other, or if you're single, go by yourself. It doesn't matter because when we get together, we all become family, right? So just come and be a part of what this organization is doing. I'm very much interested in how maybe we can partner my nonprofit with your nonprofit. So that
Yes.
way, because I have a nonprofit, my Sisters Keeper Foundation for Women. And so maybe
Yeah.
we can talk about something we can do together. We can support the
Would
work that
love
you're
it.
doing at your, maybe we can come. We have a 5K that we sponsor through my nonprofit, and it raises money for our scholarships. So maybe we can come and volunteer at your fit family fit affair or what, to have a table and
Yeah.
volunteer help, pass out water, supply y'all with water or something like that. We'll work it out. We'll work out
Oh, I
something where
love it.
we can partner together in this work because it takes all of us doing it, right?
Right. And Dr. Tony, you said the word that is my message for this year. It is partnership. That is what
Mhm.
Glamour Girl Fitness word is, that we are. Last year, we were focused more on the individual in regards to, and I have a Facebook group for New Year, New You. So I was motivating the moms, in general, or whomever was in the group, but it was just the individual. And this year, I'm getting ready to update that, like you were saying, what we have going on, where we do our challenges. So it's Glamour Girl Fitness New You in our Facebook group. But it's going to be the year of partnership, whether it be your children, whether it be your spouse. And for our single moms, like you said, if you're not married, what we're saying is get a friend involved. Partnership,
Mhm.
because a lot of times it's hard to do these things alone, especially
Get
with
a
COVID.
fitness
There's a
buddy.
lot going on.
Mhm.
Yeah, and trying to be
Mhm.
stay motivated.
Mhm.
So it's the year of partnership, whomever that
Okay.
may be. Like I said, a girlfriend, your children. So we already know we have that family unit, but we're saying partnership so that there can be someone to help keep you accountable. And we are partnering, like you were talking about, partnering together to get our message out. A lot of times we don't do that. And I think partnerships are so important because it helps expand what we're trying to accomplish together. It's
Exactly.
the same message, right? We
Yeah.
have the group.
Yes.
And if we can reach, I just say, if I can just reach one person, I've done what I'm supposed to do. You already
Yeah.
know that in the ministry. And I think it's going to grow when we can partner together A lot of nonprofits don't do that. And I realized that we can do that. And we can reach a lot more people by doing
Yeah.
it.
We can do it. So let's talk about, even on the organizational level, how we can partner my self-care
Yeah.
network as well as the nonprofit organization, my Sisters Keeper Foundation for Women. Listen, if you're watching this
Yes.
podcast on or listening to this podcast and not watching us on YouTube, I want to invite you to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Listen, when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, what you're doing is not only are you partnering with Dr. Toni and the Harmonize Your Life Conversations on Self-Care podcast, you are also helping to get content like this out there. What happens is the more people that are subscribed to our channel, the more we come up in search engines and the like. So when people are looking for messages like what Jackie is doing and what I'm doing on self-care, health and wellness, fitness, African American women, African American life, whatever, when they put in those what they're looking for in those search bars, our content, this podcast will come up as something, as a resource for people. And there is so much, you all know that on the internet, there is so much junk out there. There's so much that's not positive. We want more positive content out there. And the only way it's going to get positive, you all, we got to get out there in that space. We got to get in that cyberspace. And so you help us get in that space and take this message by just clicking a button. Doesn't cost you anything. Just click the button, subscribe to Dr. Toni G. Alvarado YouTube channel so that we can come up more in search engines when people are looking for this type of message. Okay, do that for us. Also, if you're listening to this podcast, many of you say, Dr. Toni, I'm subscribed to the channel, but I prefer listening because I can listen while I'm walking, I can listen while I'm working, I can listen while I'm cooking, whatever I'm doing. You can find this podcast on Anchor, Apple, Google, Spotify, or you can listen to us every Thursday at 10 a.m. on the lightatl.live, the lightatl.live internet radio. So if you prefer to listen or watch and not watch, fine, you can do both. Really, you can subscribe and you can listen, and both at both times. So when you want to sit down and you have the time to watch a video, or when you want to binge on something, some good content, y'all binge on everything else, binge on this podcast, all right? Because all of our episodes are cataloged on YouTube, so you can spend a whole day. You know how I binge on some Netflix shows and stuff when I want to just nestle in. Binge on a few episodes of the Harmonize Your Life podcast on YouTube, or listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. We are in the midst of our fitness challenge, so I'm asking you to go to my website at drtonyalvarado.com. Go to my website at drtonyalvarado.com, and you can sign up for Dr. Toni's Fitness Challenge, January 10th through the 31st. We have them throughout the year, and we're in the middle of one right now in the month of January. 21 days of fitness with Dr. Toni. We'll send you what you need to do. It's on your own. You work out at your own pace, work out during your own time. You can give it 10, like Jackie says, give it 10 more minutes later or whatever. As long as you get the exercise in a 24-hour period, is all we're asking you to do. Okay. And while you're there, while you're on the fitness challenge, get your Harmony Fitness apparel. Get your fitness apparel, because as Jackie will tell you, you can be cute and work out at the same time. So we have our bling t-shirts, our sweatshirts, our fitness pants, our shirts, fitness shirts for you to work out in. We have tank tops as well as dry fit t-shirts that you can purchase there, fitness bags, water bottles, whatever you need to help you, towels and the like. They're there on our Harmony Fitness apparel line. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jackie, can you give us one last word of encouragement as we close out today?
Yes. My word of encouragement and my message again is no excuses. We want you to remember to make health, wellness, and physical fitness a priority in your everyday life. This is what is going to have you looking good and feeling good, not just on the outside, but on the inside as well. Because, like you said before, It is all about mind, body, and spirit.
Wow. Thank you so much for being such a motivator, such an empowerer, a woman who lifts not only your family, but lifts other families. May the Lord bless you in this work, sis. May the Lord continue to prosper this work. And I'm just speaking over you expansion this year. I just sense
Thank
that word for you as we were closing out. I sense that God's going to expand your borders this year. So look for that. Look for God to do exceedingly and abundantly and above that which you can ask or think this year in the year 2022 and beyond. All right. All right. We'll see you all again next week on the Harmonize Your Life Conversations on Self-Care for Women of Color podcast with your host, Dr. Toni G. Alvarado. See you soon. Hi, this is Dr. Toni Alvarado, and I want to personally invite you to join the Harmonize Your Life Women's Self-Care Network. Join us for fitness motivation, health and wellness information, inspiration, self-care strategies, and ideas for creating harmony in your life. As a certified health and wellness coach, it is one of my greatest honors to support women in their fitness, health, wellness, and self-care goals. Join the Harmonize Your Life Women's Self-Care Network, and we will do you good on your journey.